Gates. My name is Third, and what the, I can't swear yet, frick is going on with literature? What's going on? What's happening? I'm a person who's still in school, right? And I'm a smart person, so naturally I read a lot. Big reader over here. Is it just like the same 10 books that I reread over and over and over again? Mayhaps, but I'm still a pretty big reader. I don't read for fun, cause I'm a screenager, but like, if I'm trying to go to sleep, then I'll pull out a book. Or I'll just play with my Canoodle till I pass out. I read, and because there are spies in my goddamn phone, sometimes I'll stumble on BookTok, which is a site of TikTok that, get this, talks about books. Crazy, I know. I bet you weren't expecting that. I bet you were expecting me to say that it's a site of TikTok that talks about Zucky Poo. Yeah, they talk about, like, books and shit, and I'll watch the videos, I will, but recently, BookTok has become, how do I say this? Horny. Just full of a lot of horny people, okay? It was kind of a sudden shift, or at least it was for me, since I'm only on BookTok every now and then, but it went from these, like, beautifully written stories with gorgeous covers that could honestly be framed in a damn art museum, to books whose covers are just a straight white couple standing there, Disney Princess Pink Boy style, and inside, there are things that I cannot say out of fear of my account getting sniped. But here are some keywords, just so that you get an idea. Entrance. Quivering. Ew. Arch. Walls. I've never really liked these books, and I haven't, like, fully read any of them, but I've seen pictures of singular pages on TikTok, and I definitely read those, and let me just say, that stuff is vile! Maybe it's just because I haven't done a smidgen of research, but why does it feel like every single page is straight corn? If that kind of stuff is what is the majority of most of these books, then I cannot imagine what the actual plot is, you know? Is the plot, like, becoming rabbits? What? But I never really wanted to make a video about it, because we all have our guilty pleasures, you know? You like reading that, I like, I'm kidding, I'm kidding so hard right now. I don't write that stuff. Please do not look up my username on Wattpad or AO3. Please, it will be my ruin. That was until I saw a video by Gabe Escobar, and then I saw a video by Emma Skies, and then I saw a video by Jilliana Isn't on TikTok. She is on TikTok though, if you couldn't tell. First we're going to talk about Gabe's TikTok, because the two others legitimately would not exist without his existing. He's like a narcissistic mother. Gabe decided that after looking up Book Street on TikTok and realizing that, oh my god, all of them look like the scripts from certain videos on the Orange and Black website, he decided to make a silly little video talking about it. You know, that the silly little thing people do. He ended up talking about an author that is either loved or hated by everyone with no in between, and the author is Colleen, not Ballinger, but Hoover. But, you know, those two are, like, kind of two sides of the same coin, but I digress. Colleen's books are famous for having really raunchy scenes, and also for romanticizing really bad stuff, like abuse, perchance. And in her book, Ugly Love, which should honestly be renamed Ugly Writing, she writes this famous line. Famous among her haters, by the way, if that wasn't clear. So Gabe makes his silly little TikTok talking about how strange it is to him that all of these popular BookTok books are 90% corn, 9% tension, and 1% actual storytelling. That's when Emma Skies came on here talking about how that take was just misogynistic and lazy, because it's a 21-year-old man hating on something that is largely enjoyed by women. Wait, let me correct myself. She said, she called what was largely enjoyed by women occasionally erotic. Either, listen to me, either Emma is a rich woman who occasionally goes on vacations to the Bahamas, and by occasionally, she means every 3 months, or she's read so much of this literature that it's normalized in her brain. I get if it's actually occasional, like once, maybe twice, per book, and it's not romanticizing anything, like, horrendous, but let's not forget the fact that the two main things Gabe talked about in that video were Colleen Hoover and the book Icebreaker. And Icebreaker is known for relating to Iowa, per se, as in it has a lot of corn. She mentions a lot that his take is misogynistic because it's largely women that read these kinds of books. But what she's forgetting to mention is the fact that it's mostly women who read any book for fun in general. I'm not kidding you when I say the only man in my life that reads for fun is my father, and he reads about, like, capitalism and war and how beavers build America. Maybe it's sexist to say that most men aren't really big readers, especially since I don't have the evidence to back it up aside from my own life, and even that isn't really a good source, because there's a total of, like, 3 men I talk to on the regular in my life. But I think I'm right. I hope. She goes on to say that women and the things they like are hated on a lot more than men and the things they like, which is a very fair argument, you know? You can say that about a lot of things like sports and video games where women get called pick-me's for liking them. But I think that if either gender was reading a lot of erotic fiction, like, they won't under any circumstances read anything else, they would be hated on nonetheless. I would go as far to say that men would get hated on more for reading that kind of stuff. Because, like, men already get hated on for what they like when it comes to corn. So that makes sense because they're into stuff that would genuinely get them arrested, but some of that hate just doesn't make any sense, you know? So arguably men would absolutely get hated on, if not more, if they were to read that stuff. She then says that women have their reasons for liking romance novels. Listen, I love a good romance novel. I love a good romance anything. They both die at the end, ate it up. The first to die at the end? Marvelous. Made me sob. Alone with You in the Ether? I've read it 3 times. But there's a big difference between romance novels and corn novels. Have you ever seen that paper that's made out of, like, stone or something? And, like, can't tear easily or whatever? Those book pages are not made out of trees. They are made out of shucks of corn. I didn't mention this, but in Gabe's original video, he said that he was looking for a new book to read and looked it up on TikTok and was greeted with a bunch of spicy books. And Emma talked about this in her video. She said that Gabe is just like all the other screenagers who are looking at a screen trying to find something, and then when they don't find that thing, they go on and complain to the internet. But, like, also, that's not what he was doing. Gabe makes funny, silly little TikToks. That's, like, his thing, okay? What he was doing in that video was pointing out how wild it was that all the other popular BookTok books were all like that. Because it is strange, okay? I'm not gonna shame people for what they enjoy, but if the thing that they enjoy is stuff like what Colleen Hoover writes, then I definitely will. It's not even a misogyny thing. I just don't like abuse. Emma does make some good points because she does actively hate on Colleen and tells Gabe to get better at, like, searching things up. She says that not all of BookTok is corn and how she doesn't even like dark romance books and those kind of books, and how if you don't like those books, you can easily get off that side of BookTok by not engaging with it and clicking not interested. She says that you have to be trying to only be seeing those videos on your For You page, which makes sense if you're an active BookTok user. Gabe never said that he was constantly on BookTok, and if you aren't constantly on BookTok, or any talk for that matter, then the things that the algorithm will show you are just going to be the most popular of that thing on that tag. Actually, when I went to my burner account, which is the account I used to post sometimes, but I never like anything on, and went to the hashtag BookTok tag, the first video said in big red letters, "The smuttiest book I've ever read." That's weird. Emma also talks about how people that aren't on BookTok or in that community shouldn't be in conversations about the goods and the bads of BookTok. But, like, what is the definition of that community? Is it specifically people on BookTok, or is it people that also read? Because I read a lot, but I'm not actively on BookTok, so am I allowed to have an opinion on this? Emma says that Gabe is a 21-year-old who doesn't have any background knowledge on these books, and therefore people shouldn't listen to him when she hates on that section of BookTok. But also, it's TikTok. People are gonna spew their opinions no matter what, and the funny thing is, people were agreeing with Gabe. Gabe wasn't saying that he hates the people that read these books and he hates BookTok and blah blah blah. He was making a silly little video about how strange it is that literature has come to this, and people agreed. And people agreed because it's weird. It's weird that someone can recommend a book to some people, and the first question on their mind will be, does it have spice? What's the spice level? That's strange, okay? I'm not saying that all of BookTok is like that, but I am saying that a large majority of what I and many others see is like that, and I'm not even really hating on Emma. She mentioned in her video that the majority of what she reads doesn't have any spice in it at all, but I do think that it is a little bit of a stretch to call Gabe's video misogynistic, especially when so many people agreed with it even before he made that video. The next video I'll be talking about is by Jillian, and she makes a lot of the same points that I do, but real quick, I'm gonna play parts of her video that I really want to focus on.
Gabe is addressing in that video is the fact that BookTok has created an environment on this app where it is normal to be addicted to. And I'm not being hyperbolic because almost every single mainstream creator for, like, BookTok is bombarded with comments that are like, do these books have spice? Are they which, like, is normal to an extent. I mean, if you're going on AO3 and you're, like, checking tags, we've all done it. We've all been, like, teenagers. We've all been horny. But it's gotten to a point where there is no difference in between you cannot read literature unless it has this in it to men who have to go on every day.
Go watch Jillian's video on TikTok, by the way. I'll put it in the description. It's fucking great. A lot of people might think that calling people's obsession with these kind of books an addiction might be a little far, but if you genuinely can't withstand reading a normal book, then I hate to break it to you, man. Can you imagine these kinds of people walking into a public library and seeing the kids' reading hour? So kids, today we're gonna be reading The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. What's the spice level? Like like food spice? I don't think the caterpillar eats anything spicy. Intercourse. How much intercourse is in this book? It's the hungry caterpillar. What? Hungry caterpillar? Like looking at me with hungry eyes? No, get this guy out of here. No, where else am I gonna read porn? Wattpad! Seriously though, right? Because like, just read Wattpad, you know? Or like AO3 or Tumblr or something, anything. Not to mention the fact that a lot of these book covers are very like kid attracting, if that makes sense. Icebreaker, for example. When you look at this cover, you're probably not gonna think that there's that in every other chapter. I have genuinely seen this book in the kids section of bookstores before. You guys are worried about the drag queens at drag queen story hours grooming your kids. You should be worried about the damn books. Wahahaha, I'm a book and I love miners. I love like Minecraft miners. Like I like Minecraft miners. I swear guys, I mean Minecraft like miners. Like I love miners, but like Minecraft like miners. Like mining, like the verb, like mining. That's what it feels like when I see these books. Personally. Oh, off topic sort of, but why do all of these covers look the exact same? Like, these are almost as bad as like the gradient or texture with words against it as a cover. Hey authors, if you have the money to pay an illustrator to make a gorgeous book cover, how about you do that? I judge a book by its cover. I do, and I'm proud to say it. And if I'm not staring longingly at a book for 10 minutes just because of how pretty the cover is, I'm not even gonna pick it up. Not to turn the tables, but if I don't want to fuck that book, I'm not gonna read it. Sorry. Realistically, I can't really do anything about what people read or worse, what people write. As long as it isn't romanticizing really bad stuff, then I don't actually care. Said the person who just made a however long minute video about the topic. I don't know. I have opinions, and I will take whatever chance I get to spew them. Like and subscribe, and turn on notifications for chance. You're all great. My name is Third. Guten. Bye. Ugh. This book is so stupid. The writer couldn't even say goodbye right in German. Knock. Hey, writer of the book here. It's an inside joke!